Breaking news. A new military conflict is brewing in Europe. NATO calls for restraint in relations between Serbia and Kosovo and declares its readiness to intervene. A new attempt at consultations will take place on Thursday in Brussels as part of the Belgrade-Pristina dialogue. Jens Stoltenberg urged the leaders of the two countries to be constructive but expects difficult discussions. Diplomatic tensions between Serbia and Kosovo are not subsiding. Following the border violence at the end of July, a new attempt at consultations will be made in Brussels on Thursday as part of the Belgrade-Pristina dialogue, which has been facilitated by the European Union since 2011. Before the meeting, NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg urged Serbian and Kosovo leaders to prevent further escalation. "I call on all parties to exercise restraint and avoid violence," Stoltenberg told reporters. He warned that the NATO peacekeeping force in Kosovo is ready to intervene if stability is threatened to ensure freedom of movement for all inhabitants of the former Serbian province. The Alliance Secretary-General spoke with Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić and then with Kosovo's Prime Minister Albin Kurti 2 weeks before Pristina's new administrative and border rules came into effect. Referring to the principle of reciprocity, Kosovo plans to introduce temporary residence permits for people entering the country with a Serbian identity card and require Serbs present in the country to replace the Serbian license plates of their vehicles with those of the Republic of Kosovo. Under U.S. pressure, Kosovo agreed to delay the implementation of these measures until September 1. These new rules led to a new episode of intense tension at the end of July in northern Kosovo, where the Serb minority are calling them vexatious. Agree on almost no point. On the eve of new consultations, Jens Stoltenberg urged the two leaders to show flexibility and be constructive. However, Mr. Vučić told the press that difficult discussions were to be expected. "We disagree on almost no point," he warned. "It does not depend on me. There is a new generation of young Serbs in Kosovo who will not tolerate this situation, who will not want to tolerate terror, who do not consider Kosovo as an independent state, but consider it the territory of Serbia in accordance with international norms," he objected. Belgrade never recognized the independence that Kosovo declared in 2008, 10 years after a bloody war that claimed the lives of 13,000 people, mostly Kosovar Albanians. Since then, the region has been the scene of episodic friction. About 120,000 Kosovo Serbs, a third of whom live in the north of the region, do not recognize the authorities of Pristina and remain loyal to Belgrade. Serbian police and army never crossed the border into Kosovo during the July incidents, Aleksandar Vučić assured, accusing Pristina of lying on this issue, as in everything else, calling for an attack that never happened and never will be. Pristina said he was convinced that Serbia would use the context of the Russian invasion of Ukraine to launch an offensive into Kosovo. Belgrade, which maintains good relations with Moscow, vehemently denied it, declaring itself a militarily neutral country not joining any bloc. "Kosovars have every reason to be vigilant against the destructive attitude of our neighbor," Albin Kurti replied at a separate press conference. "On the one hand, you have the democratic state of Kosovo with its professional police. On the other hand, the illegal Serbian structures that have transformed into criminal groups and erect barricades in the north of the country were condemned by the Prime Minister of Kosovo.